I wrote an article which was published in many Hindi and also regional newspapers, and it came out today in Indian Express. So there I shared an insight made by my father regarding 2024 election and Narendra Modi ji. So as per him, that 2014 election, the first election, that for the first time in the history of Lok Sabha elections, that a new face was declared as the prime ministerial candidate. Otherwise, if you see, even within Congress also, first there is the election, there is always an assumption, and especially if the election is being led by a prime minister of the previous government, there is always an assumption that that person is going to be the next prime minister. But here in this case, it was a new face, and it was declared that he was projected as the prime minister, and so as if it was people who chose not just BJP, not just Narendra Modi ji's party, but Narendra Modi as a prime minister to lead India. So that was a very unique factor. So this insight was made by my father, and also this is unprecedented that the first term MP, Narendra Modi ji has been in politics and made his mark as Gujarat Chief Minister and created that aura around him. But 2014 was his first Lok Sabha election. So this is perhaps unprecedented in the history of India, that a first term MP is entering the Parliament House as the Prime Minister. So this is quite unique. Even 2019 was also not like that, because again it was assumed that Narendra Modi ji will be the Prime Minister. So even within Congress also, the convention is that after the elections are over, the Congress Parliamentary Party chooses its leader, and then the single majority party go and stake the claim. So in cases of alliance, coalition government, the coalition arithmetic plays. So here it was unique in the sense 2014 that a declared face, a new face of a prime minister, fought the election, won the election with a massive mandate. So my father told Narendra Modi ji when he came to see him after the elections, that this mandate is not just for your party, but this is a mandate for you also. So you have a far greater responsibility.
And then, how do you see now, when he has completed the 12 years and exceeding Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of our country, although some of the congressmen say that they are doing a very sharp thing by excluding the 5 years of Pandit Nehru from 47 to 52.
47 to 52. 47, well, technically 47 to 52, it was an interim government. So, and here he is elected Prime Minister. But in my mind, this whole controversy is not really important, and whether it's Pandit Nehru or whether it's Narendra Modi ji or whether it's Indira Gandhi or whether it's P.V. Narasimha Rao, it's always, history, whether Dr. Manmohan Singh. So you have to see it from a distance perspective. So their contributions, everybody, every government, every prime minister has contributed to the task of nation building. So in my mind, there should not be a competition who did what. Nobody is perfect, no government is perfect, but everybody is genuine in their effort, and everybody has taken India to a great height. So I think in my mind, that is the most important thing.
And how do you see Prime Minister Modi while he is in office? And he'll continue to be in the office now, and he has already exceeded the first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, and he'll be making a new record. So how do you see his tenure right now, and at the same time the opposition who is taking on the Prime Minister, when BJP talks about his achievement, the achievement of the government of India, but opposition continuously says that these are...
Well, this is politics. So when during Congress time, and especially during UPA 1 and UPA 2, BJP also did the same thing. So this is politics, this is the job of the opposition to criticize the government, and rightly so. But again, as I say, the right assessment comes after a distance, from a distance. So I don't want to say anything about that. But one thing I would like to say about Narendra Modi ji, that he is perhaps one of the strongest prime ministers in post-independent India who has been able to provide a strong and stable government. And during UPA 1, UPA 2, we have seen that, coalition politics has its ups and downs. The problem is that the alliance partners, they are continuously, in a way, threatening the government. And you can't take any strong policy measures, you can't take any strong policy decisions. So because there is always the stability and the continuance of the government, it depends on the allied parties, and they would like to extract their pound of flesh. So Mr. Modi has been able to provide a strong and stable government, which is, I think, extremely important, especially in today's context when we see this whole geopolitical uncertainty all over the world. So at this time, it is absolutely necessary for India to have a strong and stable central government and a strong leadership. And I think Mr. Modi is the right person to lead India at this very, very critical juncture, especially keeping in mind the world politics.
As you were saying that the Prime Minister, can we conclude this thing that you are saying that Prime Minister Modi is doing a perfect job as a Prime Minister and he is the need of the hour for our country?
Well, I wouldn't definitely say that he is doing a perfect job, because as I say that no person is perfect, no job is perfect, no creation is perfect, no book is perfect, no government is perfect. So there are many of his policy decisions which I also personally do not agree with. There are many things which people might not agree upon, might disagree, might criticize, and that's a legitimate part of democratic discourse. There is nothing wrong in that, but also side by side the opposition should be magnanimous enough, which BJP was also not, which when they were in opposition they were also not magnanimous enough, to at least, if not openly praise, support the government in its certain endeavors, and especially when national interests are concerned. Like, for example, when Operation Sindoor happened, the entire country, the whole of opposition should have stood beside him, because it's not a question of party politics. But the way Congress behaved, I think very childishly, the Congress leadership, and that they went after one of their own leaders, Shashi Tharoor, which was, I think, extremely mean and immature. So when a question of national interest comes, I think everybody should stand together. Of course, this is the legitimate right of the opposition to criticize, to question the government, and which they should do, which BJP also did. So that is not the question. But when the question of national security comes, when there is a threat to national security, national integrity, then I think everybody should stand with the government.
And I'll talk about Dr. Tharoor incident with you. But first I wanted to ask you about the view of what your father had in 2014, and he was there in the office till 2017 as a president of our country. There would have been so many times when interaction would have been between the Prime Minister and the President of the country. So what was his view, being a President of the country, having the Prime Minister like the Prime Minister Modi, because he saw him taking charge as a Prime Minister in 2014, and he was there for the next 3 years when Prime Minister Modi was there in his office. So what was the view of your father then?
My father and Narendra Modi ji shared an excellent rapport, and this was not just as President and Prime Minister. This was told to me by Mr. Modi himself, that they shared a very good rapport even before he became Gujarat Chief Minister. Whenever he used to visit Delhi, even as an ordinary RSS Karyakarta, sometimes they would bump across each other during morning walk. He said, I always touched Dada's feet, and I don't know why I always had this strange respect for him. And my father also wrote in his diary, which I have written in my book, that once Narendra Modi ji came to meet him as Gujarat Chief Minister when Baba was President, that Modi ji has been one of the most vocal critique of Congress and of UPA governments. But I don't know why he has this strange soft corner for me, because whenever he meets me in private, he always touches my feet and says that it gives me pleasure to do that. But the main point is, I think my father was of the opinion that, and that is, I think, is a true hallmark of democracy, that no matter whatever ideological background you come for, you have to come together. It does not necessarily mean you have to agree on everything, but you have to try to see each other's point of view. And that is the whole beauty of democracy, and I think my father practiced it in his entire political career, and that's why he was known as a consensus generator. And that is the reason, he had good relationship with leaders across party line, whether it's CPI, CPIM, whether it's BJP. So he had, whether it's state leaders, he had relationship across party line, and because he also had the ability to listen, to convince, and in parliament, he was always like, parliament is not just to speak, but it is also to listen. So he would, before presenting a government bill, whenever there is any discussion, debates were going on, so he would also take, reasonable points from the speech of the opposition and try to incorporate it in the government's bills, so he would listen to the voice of the opposition, because opposition also has a voice, because they had been elected by the people, but opposition can't go on obstructing the parliament, and that way they are, doing a great disservice, because, they are losing the opportunity to speak and present their own point of view. So that relationship, I think, between the government and opposition is missing today, and that is something which I don't think is good for a healthy democracy.
And who do you say responsible for this?
I think it's both the parties to be blamed. This is also the responsibility of the government to take along the opposition, and this is also the opposition to realize that the government has the mandate to rule. So they can't, just because you are opposition doesn't mean that you have to oppose everything, and you just can't obstruct parliament. That is the most dangerous thing, because people lose in the faith of parliament, which is literally the temple of democracy. So this is something my father had always, even when he was in the government, when he was also in the opposition, always said. He advised Sonia Gandhi ji also when Congress was in opposition during Atal Bihari ji's time, that do not obstruct, we must not obstruct parliament. The debate has to go on, the discussion has to go on. So I think this is the responsibility of all the political leaders and the political party, to, in the interest of the nation, in the interest of the people who have elected them, to find out the middle path, to find out, and that's why, my father was respected, again, because he was known as a consensus generator. So it is possible to do that. It's not impossible, it is possible to do that. Only, I think, the right intention should be there.
And when you are openly saying that about and disclosing about the opinion of former Prime Minister late Dr. Pranab Mukherjee,
President.
I apologize for that. The former president of our country, Dr. Pranab Mukherjee, his opinion, you are openly saying what he had in 2014, being the former leader of the Congress party, and so how did he got into that consensus when he was talking to Prime Minister Modi in 2014, and when you are saying this, so can we draw the line that you are following the path of your father by openly saying everything?
I am totally out of politics now, so I don't need to say anything keeping in mind the party discipline, or I don't need to say anything. I don't have any interest in joining politics, whether joining back Congress or joining BJP or anything else. So as a free citizen of a free country, I am entitled to my opinion. And yes, I have read my father's diaries. I have had discussions with him. I have written a book on that also. In 2023, it was published, Pranab, My Father. There I have, in detail I have written about many things which I came to know about from his diaries. So yes, I would like to express my opinion as a free citizen of this country. What's wrong in that?
Yeah. And what more, even if you can tell us about Dr. Mukherjee's view about Prime Minister Modi during his meetings with him being the president, and
well, a couple of things, my father pointed out that, he wrote in his diary that Mr. Modi, and he wrote that after Indira Gandhi, he is the only prime minister, my father felt, who can read the pulse of the people so well. And I remember this writing came in the context of, there was this massive flood in Jammu and Kashmir, and Modi ji went and spent Diwali, I think, first at Siachen and then with the people of Jammu and Kashmir. So he cited that example, and there are many other examples also, that he really felt that Mr. Modi really feel the pulse of the people, and of course my father, whatever he was because of Mrs. Indira Gandhi. So, and Mrs. Indira Gandhi was also very strong mass leader. So he felt that, Indira ji had this sense of feeling the pulse of the people, and Mr. Modi, has this. And in between, no other prime minister, what my father felt, that rightly or wrongly, that had this sense of understanding the mood of the people. And secondly, he really appreciated the way Mr. Modi very quickly grasps the nuances of foreign policy. Because he had this little apprehension about because Mr. Modi was coming from state politics and he was never even a minister in the central government, so whether he would be able to grasp the nuances of foreign policy. But I think he was very appreciative the way very quickly Mr. Modi captured the nuances of Indian foreign policy, and he appreciated that idea of inviting the SAARC leaders in 2014 ceremony. But on the other hand, he also criticized some point, like for example Mr. Modi's unannounced visit or undeclared visit to Pakistan. After he became Prime Minister, then he went, I think Mr. Nawaz Sharif was the Prime Minister. So he just made an unscheduled stop. So my father wrote in his book also that, this was not necessary. And in foreign policy, there has to be certain degree of formalities. So my father was also very critical about demonetization. Again, he wrote about it in his book. So there are, one thing my father always used to say, that in democracy, it's not necessary that you have to agree on every point every time. Of course, there are bound to be, divergences. There is bound to be, different opinion, different point of views, But it is also that how do you, in a complex country like India, how do you balance, how do you manage these differences of opinions? Nobody can say that my point of view is the only right point of view. Then it becomes dictatorship. But this is the duty of the government, this is the duty of the opposition, duty of the elected representative, to try to arrive at consensus as best way it is possible for the in the interest of the public.
And one more thing I would like to ask you about, ma'am, because the incident happened when Dr. Mukherjee went to the RSS headquarters, and there was a song buzz in your party, your former party. No, I should say the former party and the party of your father, about when this thing happened. What was the view of your father, and because how was he taking it when he went to the RSS program? What was his idea? And because Prime Minister Modi is a product of RSS only.
That is my father. My father always believed in dialogue. He said in democracy nobody is untouchable. In life also nobody is untouchable. He always said that the strength of democracy is in dialogue. So I remember that time I was fully involved in Congress politics, and I was very, very upset with my father, and I was really fighting with him that, why are you going and this and that, blah, blah, blah. So he kept quiet. He never responded to me. But then I was, I repeated to him again and again one argument which was going on, that by going to RSS, Pranab Mukherjee is giving legitimacy to RSS. So I repeated that you are giving legitimacy to RSS. So then he lost his temper and he said, who am I to give legitimacy to RSS? It's the people of the country, it's the people of India who have given legitimacy to RSS by choosing one of their pracharak as the Prime Minister with a decisive mandate. And if you, that means as Congress, if you choose to ignore that, it is only at your own peril. So it is the people of India, who have chosen an RSS pracharak. So you have to be open to dialogue. You can't just ignore that fact. You just can't shove it under the carpet, and you can't just say that the people are wrong. And I would like to say another thing, that from RSS platform, my father's speech, which later on Congress said that Pranab Mukherjee has shown a mirror to RSS or whatever. I think from RSS platform, my father spoke about Congress ideology. He spoke about their Betanoir Pandit Nehru. And I think the entire, media, live telecast that. So I think, that is the beauty of it, that from RSS platform, you are talking about Congress ideology. I remember he said, secularism is a matter of faith for us. He talked about constitutionalism. He talked about liberal values. He talked about secularism. He quoted Pandit Nehru. So I think in those years, given the circumstances, Congress ideology did not get so much of publicity as it got from Pranab Mukherjee speaking from RSS platform. That is the idea. That is the whole idea of it. And I would like to also say another thing. During that time, I came to know that at one of the Congress plenaries, my father actually supposedly proposed banning RSS. I didn't know that. During this discourse I came to know. Yes. So later on, when I thought about this whole thing, I thought at some degree it also showed the tolerance of RSS. Yes. That they are inviting a person who has once upon a time proposed its banning. So I think that is actually the beauty of democracy. You cannot say that just because I don't agree with you, I'm not going to talk to you. That's absolutely childish and immature way of looking at things. So at that time, though I was very, very angry with my father, but when I really looked back and pondered about the whole thing, I think I also acted very stupidly and very foolishly.
Right now, some of the leaders, National Minister and with the son of the Home Minister of Karnataka and son of Congress President Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, and a strong leader of Karnataka, Mr. Priyank Kharge, is saying that RSS should be registered. Why they are not registering?
I wouldn't like to comment on any contemporary topic, because to be very honest, I am totally far away from politics. I don't even follow politics that regularly. So I wouldn't like to comment on any contemporary any this thing, because as I say that I am totally out of politics now. So I can only talk in terms of what my father said about. I can only talk about the article I wrote. So otherwise, what is happening, I wouldn't like to comment on that.
But you still inclined towards the Congress ideology till now?
Yes, totally. My Congress ideology, Congress values of pluralism, of secularism, of constitutionalism. It's in my blood. My grandfather was an active Congress worker and a freedom fighter. My father was a stalwart Congress leader. But today's Congress, I don't even call it Indian National Congress, I call it Rahul Congress. Because I don't relate to this Congress, and I think that Congress which I related to, probably just, remains in the pages of history. So, yes, I do believe in Congress values, in Congress ideology, but today's Congress, is it practicing the same ideology? They talk about freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is very good when you have praised their leader. But the moment you criticize their leader, they just pounce on you. Freedom of speech is very good, when you say Rahul Gandhi Zindabad. The moment you say that Rahul Gandhi has been a massive failure in terms of leading the party and, leading the party after, losing one election or the other, then you don't have any right to speak. Then you become a Gaddar or BJP follower or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So what is the difference then? You talk about BJP trying to curtail the freedom of speech. You are trying to do exactly the same thing. Where is your tolerance of then accommodating diverse views and diverse principles? Where is that? सबको एक ही धुन में अगर गाना है तो फिर आप बीजेपी को क्यों क्रिटिसाइज कर रहे हो? आप तो खुद भी वही कर रहे हो और वो भी एक जस्ट लाइक you have become sycophant of one particular family. Sorry, this is not my idea of Congress. So I believe in Congress values, I believe in pluralism, I believe in secularism, I believe in constitutionalism. Of course, I believe in parliamentary democracy, but I don't believe in what the Rahul Congress is practicing. I think what they are practicing is very, very different from the old Congress values.
That's why we are seeing the episode like Dr. Tharoor, what happened with Dr. Tharoor when he went to the foreign contingent, Indian delegation to the foreign countries to have say of our country, to showcase the view of our country about what Pakistan was doing. When he led the delegation, he was totally criticized from the official dais and the official people also.
This strange tendency of Rahul Congress, I would say, that they push away their own. When I wrote my book came out in 2023, and I quoted my father's observations about Rahul Gandhi being a not so mature politician, and his frequent foreign tours, and he's not being very serious about politics, at least seemingly not being very, and he is not being able to lead the Congress party. Forget about me, the way my father, a senior stalwart leader of Congress, was abused with the nastiest of language. And not a single Congress leader, who are there, who are active, not a single, some of them they privately send me messages, but nobody dared to, criticize it openly, saying, Sharmistha, you are wrong, but Pranabda has been a very senior leader of the party, so we condemn this kind of abuse. This is not Congress culture. Not a single leader did it, and by just allowing these trolls, this vicious narrative to take over Congress, and similarly the thing, they are doing, मैं तो कुछ भी नहीं हूँ, I was nobody, my politics was just, I'm a 5-year-old baby in politics. Dr. Shashi Tharoor is a very, very senior politician, one of the most articulate voices of Congress. They are just pushing him away. They are just marginalizing him. Again, I am saying, Congress always had this massive tradition, if you read the history of Congress, and that is why it is known as a centrist party, because it's neither extreme right nor extreme left. That's why it was to be known as an umbrella organization to accommodate many voices. And by accommodating various voices, it became such a large, in a way, mass-based party, which truly reflected the spirit of India. अब अगर हर किसी को मैं बोलती हूँ एक ही धुन गाना है, फिर कांग्रेस का वो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक, दैट अम्ब्रेला ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, वो कहाँ गया? Where has it gone? So Congress is pushing away Dr. Shashi Tharoor. Congress has, anybody daring to, when Anand Sharma this Manish Tiwari ji, Ghulam Nabi Azad, I think group of 23 leaders, G23, they came and they, voiced their opinion and their disgruntlement with certain functioning of the party. They are such senior leaders, such senior leaders who have contributed to the party. Congress does not belong to one family. Congress is not a zamindari of Gandhi family. But all these senior leaders, including my father, has also contributed of making, what Congress is today. The way these senior leaders of G23 were abused and trolled in official platforms. I have heard it in DPCC. I did not attend that meeting. But जिनकी मतलब, sorry to say, कुछ भी औकात नहीं है उन leaders के सामने. The way these leaders were abused. Why? So isn't there kind of any internal democracy within the party to criticize or to raise voice, to raise concern? These leaders have also contributed humongously to the party. So this culture of Congress, I can't relate to this Congress. I can't relate to this.
So do you see any future of the Congress party?
I mean, definitely, I don't think, I think Congress need to look beyond Gandhi families. Members. Congress, with all due respect to Rahul, to Priyanka, to Sonia ji, with all due respect, they have done, the Gandhi family has done a lot for the party, but for the country, for the nation, and they have lost 2 members they were victims of terrorism, Indira ji and Rajiv Gandhi ji. And but the party and the nation has also given a lot back to them. 5 Congress presidents from the same family, 3 prime ministers from the same family. I think, the greatest service Gandhis can do now is to step aside. Maybe initially there would be a vacuum, but there is no vacuum even in nature. So let Congress evolve in a different way without this overwhelming shadow of Gandhi family, and let it find its own course. I think that will be good for the party also, and ultimately that will be very good, very necessary for the nation.
Mr. Kharge is the president. Nobody.
But is he? I mean, I really don't know. But how much of authority and how much of autonomy does he have? I really don't know. I think we can just do a test that if Rahul Gandhi and Kharge ji, both of them, they step out of the car from the same at the same time, who gets more I just hope that Rahul Kharge ji, being an elderly gentleman, is not just pushed around. I think some videos had surfaced a couple of years back that he was actually being pushed around. So I think, to be very honest, ultimately, from whatever I hear, the strings are being pulled by Rahul Gandhi and his cronies. So, either, you take charge from front, otherwise you make somebody a Congress president, so there has to be, authority and accountability. You can't have authority without any accountability. So a position is also responsibility. So you say that, oh, I don't have any position, but I want to have all the authority without any responsibility. And that's a very escapist attitude. So I think, this is something, what we have seen, sorry to say, even in Sonia Gandhi ji also. Okay, she sacrificed not becoming the Prime Minister. But during UPA 1 and UPA 2, she had huge influence, we have seen. So again, it is being in a position of authority without any accountability. Rahul Gandhi has done the same thing. He's pulling all the strings without having all the authority, but without any accountability. So this is something, Congress needs to look into.
But my last question to you, because I'm serving Congress party for so long, you were in Congressman, I have covered you also. So now you are saying that you are not in.
I am not interested at all in politics. I am quite happy being away from it.
One straightforward question is to you, because how do you see Rahul Gandhi as the leader of opposition? He has completed 2 years of the leader of opposition, and the way everyone is Congress party is on the Rahul Gandhi's leadership. They are saying that they have gone from 52 to 99, almost 100 seats in the Lok Sabha, and now he's a LOP. So how do you see this now?
Where is where is Rahul Gandhi ji right now, by the way? Where is he? I mean, is he in India? Is he traveling abroad? Nobody knows. You see, the issue is, here you are saying something very interesting. Look at the contrast. Narendra Modi ji completed 12 years and whatever, he has, as a elected Prime Minister, surpassed Pandit Nehru's tenure as a elected, I'm not counting the interim. Now the way BJP is highlighting the fact, the way it is being celebrated. What is Congress doing? Rahul Gandhi's completion of LOP. Other than some tweets or whatever. I remember Bharat Jodo Yatra before 2024 elections. Bharat Jodo Yatra was a very good initiative. There is no doubt. But what happened after that? I remember the first anniversary of Bharat Jodo Yatra, Rahul Gandhi was somewhere abroad. So this fellow does something and then he disappears. There is no consistency. There is no consistency of, so people kind of don't take him seriously. कुछ पता नहीं आज यहाँ है कल कहाँ है, आज कुछ बोलेगा कल कुछ बोलेगा. So in politics perception plays a major role. Mr. Modi, what I have heard that he works for 18 hours a day. I have seen my father doing that, working for 18-19 hours a day. So if you are a serious politician, you have to put that kind of effort. You have to put. So Congress need to rethink not just about its face, but also about strategy, also about creating perception about its leader. खाली अटैक करने से, पर्सनल अटैक करने से कुछ नहीं होगा. What alternative are you giving the country? That is something. But anyway, that is for Congress to decide. I am nobody to say that.
So you are saying that it has been a loss of the Congress party also by attacking Prime Minister Modi in this years since 2014 until now, by attacking him personally, not on the policy.
Personal attacks, I don't think it has ever played well in Indian politics. If you remember in 2009, if I remember correctly, Advani ji was projected as a BJP face, and there was lot of personal attacks on Dr. Manmohan Singh. But the election results were very different. So I don't think, this is my personal opinion, I don't think personal attacks, Indian voters do not like personal attacks, consistently. That is my personal opinion. I could be wrong. But personal attack the policy, attack style of functioning. But these personal attacks, it doesn't gel with me, and I don't think Indian voters like that.